Alright, let's cut right to the chase. Your vocals suck. They're probably harsh, you probably can't figure out how to use a compressor, and you don't know how to EQ. If you're an independent artist and you're recording at home, I guarantee you a lot of this is probably true. Does it sound right? In this video, I'm going to show you guys the most common issues for bad vocals and how to fix them. We're going to break down the 3 most practical issues you see in home recording studios. And make sure you stay for the whole video, especially for step 3, because step 3 is going to be a majority of why artists have bad vocals. Now keep in mind, with short form content, people's attention span has gone to damn near 0, so if you have a bad mix, people are going to skip your song right away. So it's super important now more than ever to have a good mix so people won't skip your song. Now you might be thinking, why trust me? Because you don't even know who I am. Well, if you don't know me, here's a couple demos of my music that are made with my vocal chains and my vocal presets.
And I'ma have to hit you with the, hit you with the hit you with the motherfucking pound. I don't wanna talk unless you know I'm getting some. But it's just like me, you and the battle, we gon' figure it out. I got some shit up on my mind and I'ma let it all out.
But without any further ado, let's actually jump in the video with reason number 1, which is going to be garbage in, garbage out. Basically what I'm getting at is a bad or a noisy recording environment. Now a lot of you might not have the money to actually sound treat your room, and I get it because it is very expensive to sound treat a room, but there's a ton of different ways you can actually make a untreated room sound very good. All right, so I'm in FL Studio here and I'm going to show you guys one of the best ways to reduce background sound in your vocals. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to insert 1 and we're going to actually set our input. So this is input number 1. And now you're actually able to hear me through FL Studio. So I have my focus right here, and what I'm going to do is turn the gain up. So you might want to turn your volume down a little bit. But what you're going to notice is you're going to be able to hear a lot of background sound. So if you're wearing headphones, you should be able to hear that hiss. But basically the point I want to get to here is if you have your gain very high on your interface, you're going to have a lot of background sound. So a common practice to reduce background noise right off the bat is just lower your gain. So if I lower my gain a lot here, you can't hear any background noise, which is going to help a lot. So let's go into another thing that helps a lot, which is going to be a noise gate. So in FL Studio, if you go to the Fruity Limiter, you can actually use this noise gate section right here. So we're just going to bring the threshold up and bring the gain down. And the more you bring this gain down, the more you're going to hear that background sound go away. But you want to make sure you don't mess with the threshold too much because it'll start cutting in and out. You can kind of hear that. Turn my gain up. You can see there's practically, now it's very loud, but you can see there's practically no background sound, especially if we turn it down even more. You bring your release up, then it kind of cancels out that choppiness. And if we turn this Fruity Limiter off, you're going to hear a lot of that background sound come back in. My personal favorite noise suppression plugin is actually going to be NS1 by Waves. If you guys want to get Waves, I have a link down in the description below where you can get every single Waves plugin for $20 a month. So if you click that, you could actually get this plugin right away. Another few things I want to talk about for reducing background sound is actually just going to be some things you could do inside of your room. So one of the best ways is if you could get your mic into a closet. Most of the time you're going to have a lot of clothes in your closet. So this is going to help reduce the vocals from bouncing off walls, and it's actually going to trap some of that sound and keep it away from your mic. Also, depending on your mic, you might have a quieter or a louder noise floor. For example, I have the Shure SM7B, which is actually a dynamic microphone. So this makes the noise floor way quieter, but you actually have to end up getting a preamp to make the mic sound good enough to use the vocals. Now, most of you guys are using a condenser microphone, which is gonna mean that you're gonna have a way higher noise floor, but don't worry, if you use a noise gate, you'll be able to cut that out just fine. Also, a good investment might be some sound shields. You could look those up on Amazon. A lot of them are actually pretty cheap now, but just keep in mind with reason 1 being garbage in, garbage out. Make sure your initial input is actually a clean signal. All right, now we're going to talk about reason number 2, which is going to be weak delivery and your vocal technique. You'd actually be surprised how important your vocal delivery and how you're actually recording your vocals comes into play when it comes to making a good and sound good song. You got to make sure when you're recording that you actually have energy. I'm going to show you guys this song that I made a while back. I'm going to show you the original take. I'm going to show you what a lazy take sounds like, and then I'm going to show you an over energetic take. So here's the actual take in the song. This is what it actually sounds like in the song. I want you to pay attention to my energy on this take.
I can't speak for all of us, but everybody that's with me be stacking up this greenness like we in love with the money, acting differently.
Now I'm going to show you what it would sound like with a lazy take.
I can't speak for all of us, but everybody that's with me be stacking up this greenness like we're in love with the money, acting differently.
All right, now obviously this has no energy in it at all, but listen to how crappy this sounds compared to the original one. So here's the lazy take.
I can't speak for all of us, but everybody that's with me be stacking up this greenness.
Versus the original take with a lot more energy. And you could just tell I'm emphasizing the words differently. I'm putting more effort into my take.
I can't speak for all of us, but everybody that's with me be stacking up this greenness.
And then if you really want to go overboard, I'll show you guys what it sounds like with a very energetic and overboard take.
Yeah, I can't speak for all of us, but everybody that's with me be stacking up this greenness like we in love with the money, acting differently. pull up.
All right, so obviously this take has too much energy, but you could just see the vibe that it brings to the song with that different take. A lot of the time too, what'll help is just putting some more emotion and effort into your vocal take. It might sound a little cliche, but you should be able to feel the music. You should be able to feel like you're pouring your lyrics into the song. As an engineer, you'd be surprised how many times in the studio I've had to tell rappers that they need more emotion, more oomph, more emphasis on their vocals. Now I know mumble rap is a thing, but I'm telling you, don't be mumbling your lyrics. Even artists like YEAT, if you want to consider that mumble rap, there's so much energy, and the way he delivers his vocals is just perfect. Some ways you can fix this is actually warm up. One of the things I do before recording the song is going to the gym, because this will give me some energy and it'll just help me bring that energetic flow into my workflow. Also, make sure you're taking multiple takes. Don't record once. Keep going, keep recording, keep punching in until that vocal take is perfect. It might take a while, but a perfect vocal is what's going to get your song some plays. Now let's get to reason 3, which is going to be no proper vocal chain. So first things first, if your project doesn't look like this, if it's one chain, if you're using one vocal insert for all of your vocals, you're doing it wrong, and I'm telling you, that is going to make your vocals suck. Make sure you do not have a reverb on your actual vocal chain or a delay. Like if you have your reverb under a compressor or like just in the main vocal stack right here, you are making your vocals so wrong. As you can see, the way I use my reverb and delay is I'm actually bussing out the original vocal to another track right here called reverb. And basically what this does, it sends a copy of that initial vocal signal over to another track where there's 100% wet reverb. So if you were to hear the reverb track all by itself, all you would pretty much hear is reverb. But what I'm doing is I'm using this knob down here to mix that 100% wet signal, that wet reverb track, back in with the original vocal. So if we solo this out,
I can't speak for all of
you could hear how the reverb sounds, but if I bring this all the way up, you're going to hear the reverb sound way, way louder.
I can't speak for all of us, but
Now, the reason for bussing out your effects like reverb, delay, and as you can see, I have a high pitch and a low pitch effect over here. The reason for this is, for example, if you were to have your reverb on the main track right here, you couldn't actually add effects to that reverb. So when we bust it out to this reverb track, say I wanted this reverb to, for example, maybe be wider. So I could go ahead and add a spreader and just increase the separation and the spread right here on that reverb only. So it's not affecting the actual vocal, but just the reverb. And then you could do the same thing for your delay. If you wanted your delay to sound wider, or if you just wanted to add even maybe a reverb to your delay, say you wanted that delay to have a reverb sound effect in it, you can add a reverb under the delay, and it'll only affect the delay, not your actual signal. Another cool thing about bussing out your effects is, for example, with this reverb, you could actually sidechain it to the main vocal. So let me show you how you would actually do this. So in FL Studio, you'd go and add a fruity limiter underneath your reverb on your reverb bus. Then you're gonna go to the compression tab right here, right click the sidechain button, and let's just sidechain it to the main verse. We're gonna pull this threshold down and bring the ratio up, and then we're gonna let it play. And what you're gonna notice is, well, my main vocal is speaking when there's an actual signal coming in, you're gonna see it, but it's gonna make that reverb sound duck. So while I'm actually rapping, the reverb's gonna be pretty much off, but as soon as I stop, the reverb kicks back in, and this will remove some of the mud from the vocal.
I can't speak for all of us, but everybody that's with me be stacking up this green. It's like we in love with the money, acting differently.
So you can kind of hear that reverb kick back in, but while I'm actually rapping,
I can't speak for all of us, but everybody that's with me be stacking up this green. It's like we in love with the money, acting differently. If you pull up.
Another reason your vocal chain might suck is because you downloaded a preset and just applied it and didn't change any of the settings. When you download a preset, you got to understand that these presets were built in a different room with a different mic with a different person's voice. So if you don't know how to EQ, you don't know how to use compression, if you're just turning knobs and you don't know what you're doing, you need to go on YouTube and learn how to do these things. A preset's not going to save your vocal unless you know how to use it. A preset should be a building block for a song, not a main step. For example, if I'm using the YEAT preset, if I just change it to a different song, I'm going to change the EQ. I'm going to change how the compression works. Everything's going to be changing in that preset. I use that as a foundation. Also, if you guys are using the CLA 76 or whatever your main compressor is, mess around with the attack and release. I'm telling you, that'll change a lot of how your vocal actually sits across that beat. And also, if you didn't know, I have a website called the VoxBox where I have presets for damn near every single rap artist in the game. With over 10,000 sales and a 4.7 star rating overall, I'm telling you, I pretty much have the best presets in the game. So if you're looking for that foundation for your next song, I'm telling you, check out that website, link down in the description below. So here's the bottom line. If your vocals suck right now, you can still fix them. It all boils down to addressing these 3 areas: record it right, perform it right, and mix it right. Try and treat your room to your best ability. Set up your gain right. Make sure that input is coming in clean. Step up your delivery with more energy, more emphasis. Make sure your vocals actually sound good and actually mean it when you speak into the mic. And then obviously do not neglect your mix. Learn how to EQ, learn how to compress your vocals, learn how to use a vocal preset. And I'm telling you, you do these 3 steps, you're gonna go from an amateur vocal to a professional sound in no time. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to come back for more videos, subscribe, because I'm dropping a lot of videos very soon. And also leave me a comment. I read every single one, but I will see you guys in the next video. See you later.